3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Don't forget, you can email us, nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com. Like, follow, share us on Facebook at No New Friends Podcast. If you'd like to support us or message us, please click on the message or support link in the episode description. Now, right before break, I kind of teased that we're going to talk about some new Disney policies. It's been a big week for Disney. First of all, they loosened slightly the mask restrictions, and when I say that very loosely, you can now take your mask off if you're taking a picture, which I mean makes perfect sense. You socially distance yourself, you're in front of the castle, take the mask off real quick, whip it out, take the picture, mask back on. I'm good with that. Another one is, and I spent time working in the theme parks and in the late 90s, early 2000s, and their wardrobe policies were very strict. They want to have a family wholesome image. When I worked at Universal Studios, no facial hair, no piercings for men, no visible tattoos. SeaWorld was a little bit looser on some things. They allowed visible tattoos, and I think it's because SeaWorld had been around for so much longer and they had a lot of military vets working there, so they had their Marine tattoo or whatever, so they let those show as long as they weren't offensive or anything like that. Disney has not budged for years on what they do and do not allow. First thing they allowed was some facial hair. Well, now they are loosening the restrictions on their tattoo policies and also gender neutral hairstyles to allow for more inclusion.
Correct.
So, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to dive right in on this one.
Please
so
do.
I like to, just peruse on social media where different news outlets just post the story. Half of the time, if I already know what the gist of the story is, I won't even click on it. I go straight to the comments. I want to see what other people, because typically anyone
you like
who's
drama.
going to,
you like drama, and the comments cause drama.
Yeah, I'll just read it from afar, though. I like to watch it from afar. I don't want to be a part of it.
You embody the Michael Jackson gif of him eating the popcorn.
Yes, that is me.
I feel like that 100%.
Is you. Yes. So, but the people who typically comment on those are the ones that are really against it. I mean, and then the ones who comment on their comments are the ones that are really come on, man, But what I find funny is
why would people be against it?
Okay, so this is what I've read, and then I'll circle back to address why they don't understand the point, I don't think, of the different roles of cast members. One lady was like, great, my daughter's going to be taking pictures with a tatted up Cinderella. That's not how it works. Cinderella will still be Cinderella.
Correct.
The person who is giving you your churro may have a flower tattooed on their wrist.
Exactly. Right.
So that's where a lot of it came from. And then other people were like, Walt would be rolling over in his grave if he knew that we were, behaving like this. And there was a lot of controversy about the LGBTQ ears that they're going to have, or they do have. And, I don't know why they're forcing this on us. Sexual orientation doesn't
they're
have
not forcing anything.
Well, I know, but here's where I would like to make a point where they're forcing, sexual orientation shouldn't have anything to do with Disney. Yet Mickey is married to Minnie. Donald is married to Daisy. You don't seem to have an issue with that.
Exactly.
So let's just, it's fine.
That's why is that a big deal? If you don't like that lifestyle, if you don't approve that lifestyle, don't live that lifestyle. Who are you to comment about rainbow Mickey ears? Who gives a
Here's crap? What it is that they're saying that Disney is a place for children. Families bring their children there, and their children may be influenced by those things.
That's not how it works.
Well, to that I say, I don't know. I was raised by heterosexual parents. I am a heterosexual, but not all of my children are. Right. It's not based on how you are raised.
Exactly.
But that's a whole different thing psychologically. But it's just, it's that mentality of, these are my beliefs, and if it's different than that, then I'm offended, and I don't think you should do it. Which, if we all lived that way, think about it, if the opposite side did that. Well, seeing a man and a woman together really offends me, and I don't think you should live that way.
Exactly. Like,
But
and that's the thing is what it's going to do is now it's going to, it's kind of like one person's going to ruin it for everybody. And so if you have a problem with a certain lifestyle that's not your own, then what's going to happen is, you're right, the other side's going to be like, well, I don't like your lifestyle. And then it's this whole big thing. Like, stop. So many people are too worried about what everybody else is doing. You know, and I see it all the time. Like, why does this person get to go down this line? Or why does this person get to go down this line? Like, who cares? They're not getting maybe they bought a special pass. Maybe they, are disabled. Like, don't, just because you're not getting it, you're not entitled to special treatment. Like,
worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Words of Grayson Reedy. Worry about yourself.
Exactly. Be kind to others, put others first, but worry about what you're doing. Worry about, if you have a problem with a certain lifestyle or a certain way of thinking or whatever, just don't live in that lifestyle. If you have a problem with gay marriage, then don't marry someone from the same sex.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is religious indoctrination, but that's where a lot of that stems from, is just a different, set of what they would refer to as values and morals. But I think everyone just views the world a little differently.
And that whole, well, now I'm going to have to take a picture with Cinderella with a tattoo. Like, that's just ignorant. Like, yes, they're going to loosen these restrictions, but not complete. They're not going to completely go buck wild with it. Now, all of a sudden, have a tatted Cinderella. No.
Well, somebody said that Snow White was going to have a tramp stamp.
Snow White probably already has a tramp stamp.
I know.
Like, you're not going to see it. And who cares? But they to play these parts, you have to have a certain look.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that look to play these face characters is not having tattoos in invisible places. So they're not going to just let someone with, a cross tattoo on their arm play Cinderella. No, they either have to conceal it or they play another character. Like, they're not gonna change what their image is. And the whole thing about Walt rolling over in his grave, I got to tell you, I obviously I'm a smoker, and if there's one policy that's going to make Walt roll over in his grave, is eliminating the smoking areas in the park. Like, Walt was a smoker. Walt died of lung cancer. The reason why there's that 2-fingered point is because Walt always pointed with a cigarette in his finger. So, like, if you're worried about Walt's feelings, bring back the smoking sections. Like,
no, because then that encourages smoking section Scott. And you know what? After yesterday, I could take a break.
Yeah, but it also discourages me from buying more alcohol. So they're losing.
Does it?
Money. Yes, and I'll be honest, we're annual pass holders to Disney. We go, but we don't go as much as we probably would because there's no smoking sections, and it's super inconvenient in a lot of the parks to excuse yourself to go smoke. Now, Magic Kingdom, I get it. I don't go to Magic Kingdom very often because there's no alcohol except for 2 locations that you have to be sitting down dining, and I'm just bored of it. So, like, I get it at Magic Kingdom, but Epcot, which is the drinking park, I mean, that is why adults go to Epcot, is to drink around the world. The fact that there's not smoking sections in there, we don't go as much as we would have if this was a couple years ago. I don't know.
Well, okay. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I try to talk about things that you can contribute to, but
well, I don't know. How do I contribute to that? I'm not a smoker.
I
am a heavy drinker. Actually, I haven't had any alcohol for 3 days, so I'm very proud of myself.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I'm on a road to probably getting obliterated this weekend, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jokes. I have jokes. No, I mean, having smoking sections in Magic Kingdom would not bother me. I don't think, as a parent, like, you just don't take your children over to have a cig.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just like anywhere else in public. People smoke at parks. People smoke at, like, it's not.
And I'm fine. I'm fine being tucked away to a smoking section. Like, I consider myself a pretty considerate smoker. Like, I'm very conscious about is the smoke going to bother someone else, because, like, I'm making the choice to smoke, but you are not making the choice to inhale my secondhand smoke. So I try to be very, very considerate of that. So I'm okay with designated smoking areas. I think that the parks are too busy to just be walking around the park smoking a cig. I mean, you're gonna hurt, you're gonna burn someone.
Sure.
There's a lot of people around. So like I'm completely okay being tucked away. Like put me in a dumpster pad. I don't care. Just give me somewhere.
That's where you're used to smoking.
Exactly.
I'm more comfortable here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All my years in the restaurant industry, I mean, that's where you smoked, was in the dumpster pad. So like give me my own section. And make them convenient for me, and make them not convenient in the fact that like it's an easy walk to get to, but like make sure there's enough of them, because what happens is when there's not enough of them, then you get this congregation of smokers and then this big plume of smoke. It's like dropping a nuclear bomb. It's going everywhere. So if you make more of them, then it spreads it out. It thins the crowds a little bit. I mean, Universal does it right. I think they've got an adequate number of smoking sections that you can go to.
I feel like they also strategically place them next to bars.
Of course,
very smart.
They're smart. I mean, and again, we spend more money on alcohol when we can smoke. Now,
no, I'm pretty sure that every time we go to Universal, we are just paying Universal so that we can go bar hop.
No, exactly, and that's what Rachel and I did yesterday. You know, the whole point was for her. It's the Mardi Gras, and they're doing the festival of food or whatnot, food from different countries. So I was really excited for her to be able to try some of the food. She loves that stuff. And we just bar hopped. And when I say bar hopped, we went back and forth to Finnegan's like 4 times, because Finnegan's is a nice, easy walk to the smoking section over by the Mummy restrooms. So we just kept going back and forth. We did a lap of the park, and then we just went back and forth for the rest of the day, which was fantastic. We had so much fun doing doing what we could have done home for a lot.
No, but it's fun in a different environment.
It was just nice to get out of the house, and because of like, we are definitely COVID fatigued for sure. And it was just nice to get out of the house. It was nice to do something spontaneous that we didn't necessarily plan out, and it was just a nice day with her. But it's funny. This is what I do. I run into someone that I used to work with. And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, do you remember me? I'm so-and-so. And he's like, yeah, vaguely. I mean, I keep thinking that I've had an impact on these people, but clearly not. But we're friends on Facebook. And when I messaged him on Facebook afterwards, he's like, oh yeah, now I recognize you. Sorry about that. But like, we talked, and I think he was able to put enough together to kind of remember who I was, but didn't necessarily remember me. But anyway, and he's in entertainment, and he does a lot of celebrity lookalike gigs, because he's very, very talented. So by the end, I'm like, hey man, yeah, I've got this podcast. You got to come on.
Oh God.
So I invite, and Rachel's like, okay, now it's time to go. Like,
now we gotta go. I think I hear someone calling our name.
Yeah. If we were planning a wedding, you would have invited him to your wedding. And I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong.
It's true. You would have, and then given them your business card.
Exactly. My business card for executive vice president of my couch.
Oh, hey, look, it's a nice title.
It is.
I'm not even the executive vice president. I think Waffles is.
Yeah. Well, Jack is the executive vice president of our couch.
That's actually a lie. Waffles can't get on the couch on account of her legs are so short.
Yeah. We talked about that one time.
But very small.
Yeah, it was a nice day yesterday, and now when we do go to Epcot, we have this routine, and we don't go butt crack of dawn anymore, because it's pointless to go to Epcot early, because everything in Future World gets busy first. And the countries typically don't open until like 11 o'clock. Like Mexico, Norway, and Canada all open before 11. But the rest of the World Showcase doesn't open up till after 11. So we get there about 11 now. And if you hit the back of the park first, it's less busy. And then on your way out, Future World, everything's at a 5-minute wait.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we have a routine. We always start in Canada, and there's a smoking section at the back entrance of the park. So there's I don't know what they call it, the gateway entrance. It's in between France and United Kingdom, or United Kingdom and France, depending on which way you're going. So we'll go there, and then we go, back to France, and then the next country, and then back to the smoking area. And then we hit the next country, and then back, and then the next one. We keep going back and forth. So it takes us like 3-4 hours to get through oh my God, we do. Now, when they had smoking sections in the World Showcase, some of them did make sense. Like they had one tucked away in Morocco, made perfect sense. But then in Italy, it was like in Italy like in the main walkway, and I'm like, this
Well,
is the
that's more
dumbest thing.
realistic, I feel like.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. But I didn't want to talk about drinking and smoking, but here we are.
I know, we can't help it. It's just who we are as
Yeah,
humans.
when we come back, I have a job opportunity for Mary that I want to bring up to her
Oh,
and
no.
discuss with her.
I don't know.
I think you're
No,
gonna love it.
oh,
I think
God.
you're gonna love it. You're listening to the No New
Fine.
Friends podcast. We'll be right back.